Welcome back to the racing show, episode 11 now, and a quick recap of the arc last weekend. Put up 6 bets. We were unlucky not to land two, with a short price favourite in one of the races being nabbed on the line by 100 to 1. That was unfortunate, but we did get blue stocking at 12 to 1 in the big race, so that was lovely. Up to 7.5 points in profit now, and rolling on it to this weekend's action at Newmarket. We've got the Fillies mile and the Dewhurst. Let's take a closer look at the action on Friday and Saturday. Starting off with the 3 o'clock on Friday, the Challenge Stakes. It's a Group 2 over 7 furlongs. We'll take a quick look at some trends. 8 of the last 10 winners were aged between 4 and 6. 8 of the last 10 were top 2 in the market, and actually the last 8 all were top 2 in the market. 9 of the last 10 were rated 110 or higher, and 10 of the last 10 had 3 or more runs this season. That kind of left me with 2 that I was quite keen on. And Noble Dynasty, the current market favourite, would be of most interest to her. Fits all the trends. Godolphin tend to do really well at this festival, especially Charlie Appleby and William Buick. They clean up a lot of races, so it wouldn't surprise me if this was one of them. However, a slight note of caution: if the ground was to get worse than good to soft, so soft or heavy, I think it definitely would bring the French raider Topgear into play for this one. He's run some really good races recently, beating 10 Bob Tony, slightly losing to Make Me King over in France the last 2 times in Group 3 races. He could definitely take a step up and win Group 2 here. But Noble Dynasty, as I said, would be the play, providing the ground stays the way it is. However, if it does change, then I will be changing that bet over to Topgear. So a point win on Noble Dynasty, providing the ground is good to soft or better. Change that up for Topgear if the ground is soft or worse. Moving on to the feature of Friday, it's the Fillies mile, which is often a pointer to next year's classics. Quick trends for the last 10 years. 9 of the last 10 ran between 14 and 29 days ago. 8 of the last 10 had won a group or a listed race prior, and 10 of the last 10 winners ran 7 furlong or 1 mile last time out. That leads me on to looking at the Mayhill from Doncaster, a Group 2 last time. And that day, Desert Flower beat January. Desert Flower went off the even money favourite and won quite comfortably. January came second, a length and a bit behind Desert Flower, but January has improved with every run so far this season. And considering Aidan O'Brien's brilliant record in this race, I'd be more than happy to chance January to close that gap and continue improving, closing that gap to Desert Flower this time out. Moving on to the 4:10 on Friday, it's the Old Rolly Cup, a handicap over 1 mile 4 furlongs. 10 years of this race now, so we've got some fairly decent trends to have a look at, and this race is for 3-year-olds. Some trends for the last 10 years. 8 of the last 10 were rated between 89 and 96. 7 of the last 10 had 4+ runs this season. 8 of the last 10 ran 10 or 12 furlongs last time out. 9 of the last 10 had 0 or 1 win in a handicap. So because it's for the 3-year-olds, kind of tends to go to the unexposed. Maybe they've won 1 in a novice and 1 in a handicap so far. 8 of the last 10 finished in the top 4 last time out, and 8 of the last 10 had also ran at least once over 1 mile 4 furlongs. That led me to two quite unexposed winners in Kildare Legend and Mount Atlas, and the last one being Imperial Sovereign, who I'm going to chance here at quite a little bit bigger price than Mount Atlas and Kildare Legend. Imperial Sovereign's had quite an unlucky season, not being able to win a race yet so far, and has been beat quite comfortably in almost all starts. However, the yard obviously thought quite highly of this horse, running him in a Derby trial at the start of the season. He's not really kicked on from that, but he hasn't regressed either. They stepped him up to 1 mile 6 furlongs at Ascot in a Group 2 next time out, and he kind of disappointed. He went to a handicap over the same trip the next time, and that was a hot race, and he didn't do too badly. But he was much more on track last time out, being stepped back down in trip, and getting slightly softer ground. And if he gets that here, I think 12-1 could look a little bit big for a horse that has been threatening in better races this year and could definitely kind of nick one here, where the market won't be thinking he's got a chance due to his recent form. They've got James Doyle on board here, which shows a bit of sign of intent. Maybe they think they can get this win with this horse. So at 12-1, I'm going to put up Imperial Sovereign to win the Old Rowley Cup handicap at 4:10 on Friday. So moving on to Saturday now, the first race of the day is the 1:15 Space Blues Darley Stakes. It's a Group 3 for 3-year-olds or older over 1 mile 1 furlong. Some quick trends to note in this race. 9 of the last 10 winners won in one of their last 2 starts. 8 of the last 10 winners were aged 3 or 4, and 10 of the last 10 were rated 98 or higher, which I think all of them in today's field are. The one that interests me the most, and the tip in this one, is going to be Liberty Lane. He's been running very, very well in handicaps all of this season, winning twice, and both of them coming at this course and distance. So you'd have to say if there was ever an opportunity for him to grab a group race, it would be one with these current conditions, 1 mile 1 furlong at Newmarket, and any softer, good to soft or soft ground is going to be ideal for him too. As I said, he's put in some good performances in handicaps this season, most notably last time out winning the Cambridgeshire at Newmarket just 14 days ago. He's a 4-year-old, he's certainly still improving, so there's no reason why he couldn't go on and win this Group 3. Moving on to the feature of the meeting and of Saturday, the Dewhurst, which is a 7 furlong Group 1 race for 2-year-olds. To me, it looks like a match between Godolphin and Aidan O'Brien here. We'll start with the Godolphin runner, Shadow of Light. We actually put Shadow of Light up for the Mill Reef at Newbury. But unfortunately, due to the heavy ground, they withdrew him that day. But they did then run in the Middle Park Stakes. That's a Group 1. Similar kind of theory applied there. Kind of annoyed that we put up Whistle Jacket for that one and not Shadow of Light. Should have kept the faith. As I said before, he is related to Earthlight, who was a good 2-year-old and ran over at least a mile. So it wouldn't massively concern me for Shadow of Light getting the trip. However, I think Aidan's running his best 2-year-old in this race. And that best 2-year-old is the Lion in Winter. I've been so impressed by these 2 performances he's put in this season. I've backed him for next year's Guineas. I've backed him for next year's Derby, 20-1, 14-1. Literally any price I've been able to get. I've been on this horse for next season's classics. He's got a genuine chance to go for the Triple Crown, I think. It's something that Aidan keeps mentioning more and more as the years go by. He'd love to aim one at the Guineas, at the Derby, and at the St. Leger. This horse could definitely be in that category of horse. He's a See the Stars colt out of a Lope de Vega dam called What a Home, who is a fairly decent horse for William Haggis. The main thing is just how impressive the Lion and Winter's kind of running style has been this season. On debut, he was kind of just allowed to do his own thing. He was midfield, and as soon as he was kind of asked the question, as soon as Wayne Lorden pressed a few buttons, he really picked up for it. And then next time out at York in the Acomb, he beat Wimbledon Hawkeye, who has since gone on to win a good race. Just looks really impressive to me. He's obviously got the form over 7 furlongs, unlike Shadow of Light, who is yet to experience that. I don't think a softer surface is going to be an issue for the Lion in Winter. See the Stars usually aren't massively ground dependent, and What a Home certainly was not ground dependent herself. She quite enjoyed running on good to soft or soft ground in her career. So, I mean, there's even the potential for a bit of improvement when we get further distance, when we get slightly softer ground, etc. So, yeah, I'd be very bullish, very keen on the Lion in Winter, and especially for his prospects going forward next year. So there'll be the 2 bets for Saturday, rounding off the 5 bets for the Newmarket meeting. And just to recap those selections, in the Challenge Stakes on Friday, we're going for Noble Dynasty. If the ground stays as it is, a good to soft or better. However, if that ground does kind of venture into soft or heavy, it will be Topgear to win that instead. And we move on to the Fillies Mile on Friday, January to win that one. And the Rowley Cup on Friday, Imperial Sovereign to get his first one of the season. And moving on to Saturday, it's Liberty Lane in the opener, and then the Lion in Winter in the Darley Dewhurst. So that's 5 selections, 5 points, up the bets. Good luck.